Have you seen any of the patch yet?
I have.
You have, yeah. So I just scrolled through it quickly there, and I'm raging about a few things, but which is why I wanted to make the video quickly. And
So we read it from up to down and comment on anything like big things.
yeah, it's pretty much, man. So the main one for me that has really pissed me off. So let's just start right. I've
Okay.
taken half a day off work because I had till 3 p.m. this afternoon to gain MMR because I was at
That's crazy.
1700 MMR after losing what like 300 or 400 MMR, right? And I'm like, right, I'm
Yeah.
gonna take some time off work. I'm gonna gain back my MMR. I'm gonna fight for my right to call myself a 2K player, which maybe I'm not quite there, right? But I
Yeah.
log in and the whole game is locked out because they decided to run the update. What we're at 8 a.m. So that would have been 6 hours before the season ends. They decide to run the update. So that
Yeah.
pissed me off just from the get-go.
It is annoying as shit.
Yeah, quite annoying. I mean, it is what it is, whatever. I just don't have a life. I
Yeah.
mean, so that's why it's annoyed me. But I would have liked to have started the season, with high MMR so that now, what I think I'm going to start next season with 1500 MMR or something like that.
You will start. I think you start with like 1550. I think.
Yeah, that's going to be painful. That is the,
Yeah.
the the stickiest MMR to get out of because you cannot predict what these people do in the low MMR. It's
Well,
uh
yeah, kinda.
it's difficult. It's difficult. But
But it's
whatever.
still
It's
lower,
a
man.
challenge.
It's an easy win, you know. They have no idea how to play. You can
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like play some cheese and win. But yeah, we can
I,
look at the
I
patch now.
I'll just boat myself back up to 2K again. That's basically what I
Yeah.
did last time. Right. So
Mountain has
1.6.
become a core unit.
Yeah. Let's. Do we care about skins? The skins are kind of cool. I don't mind these skins, but like
The
as long
pink
as you don't have to
Haldan will be
pay for
using it.
them. Yeah, I'm fine just earning them as opposed to paying for them, which it looks like it will be.
Yeah.
Avatars, yeah, whatever. Some of these borders look like they are gonna kill people's FPS, but whatever. They're pretty cool. Emotes, don't really use them to be honest, only for saying hello and good game.
Yeah.
Medals, the medals have always been quite cool actually. I think the medals look
Yeah.
really good when you win a tournament. But the rare occasion that I won a tournament, uh,
There's a Hound medal now. I
hey,
want it.
actually, I know what you need because you're one of the rare people again that wins multiple tournaments in a day. They should stack these. So, like, if you win 3 tournaments, they should show all 3 medals, right?
Yeah, of
That,
course.
that, that would be nice. That would be pretty
It
nice.
would.
So yeah, Mountain, the new core unit. Now, already, I'm pretty against this because I just don't like the Titans in any case, if I'm honest.
Yeah, same.
But it's I don't. I've started enjoying the Abyss, but I think the Abyss has a place. And I mean, it's usually as like a final blow though, in the same way that the War Factory is. But I
Yeah.
don't know what this mountain will be. This mountain is either you throw it down for the very last round to win a game, which is just basically what the War Factory does, or you cheese like round 3 or round 4 and just build mountains for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and it has like 280 range or something, or like
Yeah.
300, so it in standard it's gonna be so fucking annoying to play against.
Well, I did say something like this in Rooster's stream. I was like talking to people in Rooster's stream. I wasn't talking to Rooster,
Yeah.
but I said something like, "Oh, people are just gonna," or maybe it was your stream actually, dude, with Rooster in it. And I was like, "Oh, I can't wait for the meta where people just throw these things behind the tower and
Yeah.
take the range tech, and then they basically have free medium unit chaff clear that you cannot touch."
Yeah.
And then Rooster released a video or YouTube video doing that exact thing. So let's see what happens. People might just see it as a cheese unit and then only play it if there's an opportunity. Maybe it won't become meta, but
And I think that the mountain will change. I feel like it is going to make melting points even better since they have one more
yeah,
thing to counter. And the
yeah,
mountain, it's perfect counter for steel balls, tarantulas, and sabers. So tarantulas and
yeah,
sabers are going to have a really hard time against the mountain.
exactly. Yeah, mid-sized units are it's going to be pretty rough. So whatever, this stuff doesn't mean anything because we don't know if these are buffs or if these are debuffs because we've never seen what it's like in 1v1. This could be
Yeah,
completely broken or completely crap. We don't know.
yeah.
Farseer though, actually, that's quite an interesting one.
Well, the issue with the Farseer is that it got countered by like fortresses and things like that. I feel like the burst mode will give you the ability to like counter the counter now. So
Yeah.
Farseer carry is kind of an option. I mean, it isn't an option, but there's like more ways to play it now, which I think is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, there always was like a slight meta when they first made the Farseer specialist. No, yeah, there's a Farseer spec, right? Yeah, and
Yeah.
you could like round 1, round 2 Farseers and stuff, and then it maybe for like a week people were doing it, but it's like, yeah, whatever. It's better when you get it for free. So maybe this won't become meta unless the attack changes and the new tech actually make a difference. We'll see. This doesn't really excite me at all, but it doesn't really make me think anything is.
Yeah,
broken.
I think they removed Farseer spec from the game now.
Yeah,
Because it's a core unit.
Yeah, that would make sense. But I don't ever listen to music in any game I play because I just listen to my own, which is, I know it's quite bad. But you got to appreciate the music sometimes in games. But whatever. I heard this is quite good, but I don't really.
It is pretty good.
Yeah, I don't pay attention, so I have it. First thing I do when I load up a game is go into the settings and turn music to 0. So.
Well, I think it's good for like content creators, kind of like me, because
it
isn't copyrighted, you know, so you can just play it on your videos.
Yeah, that's very true, man. This, I really like this. So, coming from Dota, this is a feature that's in Dota, and it really is. Well, it creates like that sense of like prestige in the game because there's tournaments. Like esports is obviously a big thing. This, I think, is pretty cool because this might not be just community tournament pages anymore. This could be like proper sponsored tournaments at some point, and showing them in game is really good for, well, just for the community in general. Like, I think this is quite cool. It depends how they implement it, and also if we get to have the new client, the new tournament. So there's like a spectator view that they're using in the Mag 1 tournaments. They could bring that in game at some point. That would be really sick too. But yeah, this is pretty cool. Right, now the fun stuff.
The fun stuff.
4-player brawl. I played a couple games of this when I was losing MMR just to like shake myself out of the tilt, and it was, to be honest, it's actually quite fun. But
yeah, it is.
I play it quite brain dead, where I just pick one unit and I just spam it. I'm like, right, I'm just going to spam Phoenix this game, something like that. Wasp, AP Wasp. When was that ever good though? Because I only ever saw AP Wasp in super low MMR, like when I was like in 1k range.
It is.
I've never. There's too many better options in the Wasp's techs, I think, but. Maybe this becomes meta for a week or something, and then people just start spamming Fort AA.
The way they could make it better. The attack is it increases only by 50%. If it was increased by like 75%, it would be better.
That's what makes it bad. You're right. You get more out of anti-air tech, and you get more out of the ground tech. Ground tech is like 175, right, or something crazy. Yeah, it
is 200.
200. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's 200.
Yeah, why would you ever take that? You're actually getting more value for money by taking the ground spec than even just 100 AP. So yeah, this is pointless actually. I'm sure it will get like maybe some early game momentum or something like that, but it's only going to increase the cost of more important techs. Phoenix, I guess they're trying to like silently nerf what's the other damage tech on Phoenix?
Charge shot.
Charge shot, yeah. I guess because it's the most popular tech on Phoenix after range.
Yeah.
Although I did watch. I think it was either some 201 players or maybe Zemp or someone was playing with Launcher Overload recently. But maybe they were doing it in preparation because they saw it was on the test server. Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think
whatever.
it's a pretty good tech.
I did used to play this actually. I used to play this with the range, but yeah, being able to just nuke a giant with charge shot is kind of nice. With high level Phoenixes. Right, this one, I am. God damn it! That's how angry I
bad
am.
for the Typhoons.
What on earth are they thinking? The Typhoon level 1 is completely useless.
Yeah.
Completely useless. This is not like this isn't nerfing a broken unit. This is nerfing an already weak unit. Typhoon is only strong by like level 2 it's fine. Level 3 is when it starts to really pick up, and especially with a damage item. But do you have any idea what they're thinking with this?
I kind of do. I've been hearing voices that Berlag is it will be added to the basic stuff. It won't be like, what's the word, like
okay.
It won't be like a rare unit anymore. You know?
It won't be okay. So you'll be able to just pick a Typhoon from round 1 if you want. Okay, I mean, but even then, this is on the level of a Tarantula now, and Tarantulas are notoriously hard to level up, but a level 1 Tarantula is pretty broken still.
Yeah.
Whereas a level 1 Typhoon is pretty weak to a lot of the starter units. A level 1 Typhoon, I think, loses to a level 1 Tarantula plus Marksman, let's say.
Yeah.
Probably does, right?
Yeah, it does.
So what's the point? Whatever. I have...
Yeah,
that's made me quite disappointed. Fortress. Don't really play Fortress, man. You probably play a lot more Fortress than me. What do you think about this stuff?
The attack is pretty bad now, since they already had issues killing things. Like the Fortress attack, like recently I've been playing Fortress, and I was kind of surprised of their inability to actually kill anything.
Yeah.
So it's even worse now. And Rocket Punch, it's a lot worse now. The speed of the rockets is actually a big thing, because they can be anti-missile, because they are counted as missiles.
Very true. They were already pretty weak to anti-missile Mustang, so
if your opponent goes no rockets, you can just get anti-missile a lot easier because of the speed.
Travel speed 400 to 200, that is crazy, dude.
It has helped, you know. The armor enhancement, I feel like people are gonna start using, because I've seen a couple 2-1 players use it, and it can surprise players. Like it like doubles the HP, like almost like basically against some units. It is pretty awesome.
So they are going for full carry. They're basically buffing carry Fortress.
Yeah.
So the attack has gone down because double shot is cheaper, marksman is cheaper. Yeah, that is okay. I mean, it's pretty obvious what they're doing here, actually, when you look at it that way. But it looks like techs across the board, everywhere, are going down. They're making techs just cheaper. So does that mean next patch we are going to see Fang Fort? Because the only problem is AP. Who's running AP on Fang? It's Ignite, Shield, Range, Mech Rage, right?
So, I run AP on Fangs.
Do you? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But Ignite's quite buffed, right? Because it stops healing.
Yeah. It stops healing, so it's pretty good, yeah.
It's pretty good. But again, AP, whatever. It's 100 costs. If you're running it, then it makes you feel good, but I don't think it's great. I would rather have Ignite.
If you really want to play Fang carry, you can take Shield away, since it costs 500. You can get like one more Fortress with that money.
And maybe you have a Fortress with Shield. Maybe you don't run Armor Enhancement and you have Shield, and then your Fangs are protected, so... Yeah, that's fair. Armor Enhancement on Arc Lights too. They're really...
I'm gonna start... I have an idea. Like a year ago, people did this thing like 2-1 player as well, but you just take like armor on the arc lights, and then you do like a double arc light flank on both sides. It was so annoying.
Arc light armor used to be 100, and it was pretty busted, because it was like round 2, you would just hit armor and everything on the board. To be honest, maybe they've brought this down again because there's so much AP stuff cheaper, so they want to give arc lights a chance, but it only blocks 60. So maybe not. I don't know what this is about.
It increases its HP by 50% though.
Yeah, that's true. It makes it tankier.
So if you get like the heavy arc light card, and you combo it with the armor enhancement, your arc lights will have the same HP as like a Fortress.
Very true. But yeah, I think you're right about this round 2 arc lights in the corner with armor enhancement. Maybe not round 2, but nice.
Round 2, round 3, whatever.
Yeah. Right, this... Thank God for the anti-tank shells getting nerfed, but I think now that people have realized how crazy this is against medium units, it's still worth the 150. Yeah. So it'll probably still get taken. I've seen you play this a lot recently. So I know I don't know how you feel about it, but high expo ammos came down actually.
Yeah, and the Overload is cheaper, and I'm a big fan of this deck. So.
Oh, you like this one too?
Yeah.
Does this not decrease range?
Yeah, so what I've been doing is I take anti-tank shells, I take range, and then I take Overload, so I have like all the decks.
Oh wow, okay.
Then you just make like a line of them, and you win games.
What range do you get with that? 120 or something like that.
You get 100 and well, but you have to take range.
Yeah, with range though, what is it?
180.
What with range?
Yeah, it only decreases it by like 35, and range gives 40.
Oh wow, okay.
And if you get like the card of the like extended range Stormcooler, then you don't even have to take range since it's back to 180.
Right, that's crazy.
So Overload is going to be pretty good in this patch.
So Sandworm, I love Sandworms. I don't really play them that often because I spam boats so much, but when I get a Sandworm drop, it's almost an insta-click for me. But I never run anti-aerial, and I never run burrow maintenance, and I don't run mechanical rage either. So I guess that's why they are buffing them. I don't know what you play on your Sandworms.
I play anti-air on my Sandworms. They are like actually pretty good at anti-air, since Sandworms they kill raids, they kill boats, they kill phoenixes, so it's actually pretty good against air.
Right.
The thing is just, it's not the role that people play it in. But now that it has more range, and I feel like people are gonna start using anti-air, because it is actually a good deck.
The only time I saw these getting used, well, other than the FFA games, was it's a 2v2 game. I think it might have been... Was it you? Actually, I don't think it was you. It might have been Woot, actually. You haven't said that. And yeah, there was like 5 or 6 Sandworms, and they were destroying the boats and Phoenix or something like that. Now with a range modifier, yikes! It could be legit.
Yeah, I don't know how the range will help it though, because like 20 range is not that much, and they still like come up and then they can get shot, so the range doesn't really change the way they will like fight.
That's fair enough, I guess. So they sort of can get killed before they do the damage. I'm like, do you know what I mean? Like the attack coming out of the ground and then coming up to attack is maybe like a second. I don't know. So they can be killed in that moment, I guess. Maybe if that attack speed was increased, it would be a bit better. All right, I don't really care about the rest of it because worms are already pretty fast, and that's why I never take mech rage. Like, you don't really care about their speed. Burrow maintenance, that's an FFA thing, really, and it may be 2v2 thing. Yeah.
So I guess the Sandworm is just better now, basically, a bit better.
Yeah, exactly. They've given it more opportunity more flexibility, basically. You can do a lot more things. The Abyss, though, man, this is crazy. Like, wreckage recycling for me, so for me, Swarm Missiles is the first tech, wreckage, second tech, always for me. But the wreckage was broken for me. Like, it was a given. You take this thing, unless the board is just full of chaff and Mustangs, and there's no medium-sized or tanky units, then you just don't bother with this. But if you get stuck on like a giant and you're low HP, you just recover all of that health. Although, so maybe this slightly nerfs it because you're going to kill the thing that you're healing off much faster. but you heal based on your damage, actually. So you will heal more. Yeah. So yeah, this is crazy. I think this is going to be nerfed pretty soon.
I feel like because of this, we will see more like photon abysses. Because EMP is going to be better against Abyss now.
Yeah,
because of
that's true.
Recycling.
I did play a game yesterday where someone just went mass marksman against my Abyss and took anti-air EMP, and it was really horrible because I don't run photon on the Abyss.
Yeah, I think people have to start putting photon on Abyss again.
Yeah, I'm just going to remove vertical sweep. I never use this tech, so I'll remove vertical sweep and put in photon.
Well, the one thing vertical sweep is good against is war factories, and they are being made better now, so I think people should still keep the vertical sweep.
Well, I don't like... Is it Dark Pact, the Wraith one? That spawns the Wraith? That's the one I'm not really a fan of, because usually the thing that kills an Abyss is the thing that kills a Wraith. And you're just spawning a Wraith in front of the Abyss, and it gets instantly killed by a Melting Point or a bunch of Phoenixes or Marksmen. So I don't really like that. If the Abyss had Mothership like like the boats, like an overlord rather. That would be pretty sick, but then
I agree.
It might be too broken then. So yeah, Abyss, I'm looking forward to wreckage recycling. Fire Badger.
Same.
That
Ignition cost only 100.
Insane. Actually, I didn't see this before when I was looking through it.
Same.
That is crazy. Liquid Fire. Is that a new one? Is that not napalm?
No. Yeah, it is napalm.
Yeah. Okay. So that is
the HP
also
modifier was too aggressive.
Yeah, it really was. Unless you were like, I would only feel comfortable taking this on like level 3 badges, like the level 3 badge drop. And even then, or if I had range, because then you don't care about them dying. You're just putting fire on the ground, really. A pretty big buff for badges. Vulcan, that's pretty nice too. It looks like across the board armor is just going to be 150 on giants, I guess. Or everything.
I'm going to have to start putting armor on everything, man.
Yeah, it looks like it. That's pretty nice for Vulcan. Vulcan already quite an underrated giant when it comes to tank. Like a level 2, level 3 Vulcan can tank and kill a melter, like a level 1 melter. So yeah, this is just makes it even more difficult to kill. Crawler, do not care about acid because I'm an aggro player, so this just completely kills me if I take this, so I don't play this as an aggro player. I don't know if you've played acid that often, but
only if your opponent is playing like War Factory aggro. Then
I was just going to say, War Factory, maybe it's worth having it just... If you expect the War Factory to turn up, you just put 3 crawlers, 1 in the middle, 1 on the left, 1 on the right, acid, and then hope for the best. Maybe, I don't know.
Rhino.
This is annoying because I'm playing, and it's because of Amarok, I am playing against more and more Rhino Wasp.
Yeah, he's been spamming it.
It's all Amarok's fault.
It is all his fault.
It's who's the guy who's his coach? I forget his name. Something Cheese or something.
Cheese Mechabellum or like Roxas.
Yeah, I guess it's his fault really, but Amarok is definitely in my MMR range. Well, now I'm 1700 now, but yeah, back in my old MMR range, this was a big problem, and they buffed it. So yeah, whatever. I guess
the attack modifier is interesting since it's only 20%. It's not like a big change. I don't know if it will like do anything even.
There was the card, right? The card that you could get that would give you attack modifier. The Berserk card. Was that
every 40%? Time you kill something?
I think it was 40%.
It is 10% every time you kill something, I think.
Oh right, okay, that's pretty insane. I never play Rhino. I only ever take Rhino spec if there's nothing better to take, and because it's plus 300 when I sell it. So yeah, I'm not a Rhino player.
The decks are getting cheaper. God damn.
Yeah, well, hopefully after a couple of weeks of the meta, the pros are going to show us how to counter Rhino and Wasp. Yeah,
I know how to counter it.
And then I just need to copy you guys. I mean, to be honest, I was playing Stang against it, and it was working. But you said in your stream yesterday to me, because I did ask you yesterday, and you quickly just said play boats, and I actually played boats and it worked. Scorpion, why are they buffing Scorpion?
Because it's not good.
Come on. Right, well, we need to... This is... we have to disagree on that one. To be fair, these are not 2 techs that people play in the higher MMR. They definitely play this in lower MMR, though. I've seen field mate Scorpion. I've seen some crazy Scorpions in my low MMR games. I don't think it's uncounterable. I just think it can... it does more than it should. It can destroy level 1 giants. And I think that is just... completely conceptually broken for how Mechabellum should work.
Well, yeah, but the problem with like Scorpion Mustang recently has been that Abyss completely counters it, and Abyss is good currently.
That's true, so but then Melter counters Abyss, and if you've noticed something, Melter and Mustang are completely untouched. Completely untouched.
I think a way to fix the Mustang would be to make the attack interval maybe a bit bigger, so they don't like kill chaff as fast.
Yeah, I think they should struggle more against crawlers. I know they do struggle against level 1 crawlers, but they still kill them eventually. I think a level 1 crawler pack should kill a level 1 Mustang if it gets on top of them. a bit better than they currently do.
Yeah.
Hounds, that's fine. I didn't realize that this thing didn't clear oil. I know it's called fire extinguisher, but I also, because it cleared acid, I was like, oh, well, maybe it clears oil. I think it should clear oil.
Yeah, same. It's just it should like clear everything that is like you can put on the ground.
It really should, especially because, and we'll come to it in a bit, all of the spells got nerfed except for napalm and oil. Which is pretty crazy. Armor enhancement, that's pretty, I think for the hound that's pretty big, because carry hounds were really annoying, and armor was the main thing on carry hound, obviously after mech rage and range. But people took armor enhancement off to put in fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
So I don't know about this. This could make it broken again, but it needs to be able to clear level 1 crawlers for it to become broken, I think. So maybe this is fine.
It is fine, I think.
Yeah. I don't play quick reload on marksman. I don't know about you.
I do not know.
No. So I see it a lot in FFA, but FFA is just crazy in any case.
It is just going to be a bit better now. It is nothing else.
Yeah, exactly. There's not really anything to talk about here, I don't think. So this, I missed this completely. This is an interesting one. Now,
it is a very big change, I feel.
How do you play ionization Raiden? Because I did used to play it when it first came out, but yeah, it obviously gets something low, but I think it's the whole point of this is it gets something low enough for other things to kill it.
Yeah.
Because the Raiden can't carry when you hit this.
Yeah, so the way to play it, I feel like you have like 2 or 3 backline Raidens which ionize things, and then you have something like Mustang, something other big, like maybe a Fortress or like...
Yeah.
You know, you have another thing to carry, so you have only a couple of Raidens to do the ionization, but you don't get like any more decks on them other than like range.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, the next thing that I want to complain about is Overlord. Why? Why nerf? What is the point? What is this breaking? This extra 600 HP? Because the Overlords were not broken last patch. They were very easy to counter. Again, melting point counters everything. Overlord should be able to kill melting point because it's not a baby giant, it's the next thing up from a giant, right? It's supposed to be the next thing between a giant and a titan. It's a big giant. So how can this not kill a melter? They now made it more difficult to kill melters. They've made it more difficult to tank Mustangs, although maybe not armor enhancement. But the last thing I want to run on my aggro boats is armor enhancement or field maintenance. So again, where did this come from?
I kind of know. They balance the game around like win rate of certain things. The win rate of boats in low MMR has been high recently, so they had to change it. It is pretty simple.
Fair enough. I mean,
it is annoying for us high MMR players, though, you know, of course.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Overlord is pretty weak in my opinion.
I mean, the HP debuff, it's not that bad since like it won't change the way like Melters counter it anyway. It's
almost pointless, this, to be honest. It's just just over time, if they keep doing this over more and more patches, one more minus 3% and you'll basically just be 20,000. Whatever. Phantom Rays, you're a Phantom Ray enjoyer, and you play
I'm a high explosive enjoyer.
Yeah, you are. So this is real nice for you. Although the price,
it is not.
Actually,
the price is 200 now.
I saw this the other way around when I scanned through it before the call. Yikes! Right. That's a shame.
Well, they made it like a better deck now, but more expensive deck, so you can play the same way I played it. So it's like randomly take it. I think you actually have to think about playing it now.
Yeah.
So
I don't play it. I think I added it yesterday, just to see if I could get a game with it. But maybe let's see what happens. I don't know. Is there a card drop that gives you more explosive? It's only range, right? On Ray, you only get extended range Ray.
Yeah, you want to get extended range.
Yeah, okay, that's a shame. Don't care about this one, but that's a pretty big nerf to its HP. It must have been busted.
Yeah.
Jeez, okay. Fair enough.
But they are planning to bring this to like 1v1 and 2v2 too, so they're changing it to fit that.
Okay, right. Oh god, why? Please leave the Titans out of the game. The game is so, like, I love the nuance of the smaller units and making like these little adjustments here and there. The second you start throwing Titans down on the board, not only does it physically give you less space to make plays, but it's more obvious what you're doing. You're just playing a Titan, and now the opponent has like two obvious reactions. You know, most things are countered by two things in the game. Usually it's a melting point. So it just isn't going to make the games that exciting anymore, in my opinion.
The reason I dislike the Titan units, because you have to leave, if you want to win games and you're in like round 10 and you get like a free abyssal or something, you have to have space to put it. So now I have to place my boards in ways that I have like these like Titan-sized holes everywhere, so I can like play the way I want.
Yeah, you always have to have 7 squares free throughout the whole
like
game.
Somewhere.
Yeah, that's very true. And then that makes it even more obvious to the opponent where your Titans can go. So they just have to have a melting point sized hole opposite every single one of your 7 Titan sized holes. There's no nuance to it anymore. It's a shame. Same with the War Factory. Like, you know, we beat Woot with the War Factory cheese. And I mean, so War Factory has its place. Like you played War Factory against mass worms, and that is literally what War Factory is designed to do. It's there to just chew up these massive giants, basically. But people weren't using it that way. They're just using it to tank every single mid-sized unit on the board, whilst their army cleans up everything. But
it is a pretty good chance.
Production count of Phoenix. I didn't realize it had max on that, actually, if I'm honest. So do we have to worry now about production War Factory?
No, they made it even worse now.
Oh, sorry, yes.
The interval is from 13 seconds to 15 seconds, from 6 seconds to 7.
It's because I read this as a buff, and then I assumed these were buffs. Oh my god, yeah.
It's not a buff. It's holy shit, it's ass.
Who was playing this stuff? Was it 201s? Because I don't think I ever saw production War Factory.
Yeah, 201s. Like there was just like one 201 player who I play against like every day. The only thing he plays is like the War Factory that produces things.
So they've just nerfed one specific player. Okay, fair enough.
well, kind of actually, yes, because I haven't seen anyone else playing this.
Yeah, neither have I, man. Right, so the most important one here. Oh yeah, remove Farseer Specialist. So you were right earlier. I didn't see that. Reinforcements. Basically, every single spell, expensive spell, is.
It cannot be bought twice.
Harry. Hello, me again. When editing this video, I realized that both mainly myself, and Nightcrawler had made a mistake talking about the reinforcements, and it was Mr. Capals in Discord let me know that actually oil and napalm, or what is it called in game? Let me get my facts straight. Oil, what do they actually call it? Incendiary bomb. That's it. Oil and incendiary bomb have already had this change, like all the other spells have had, where once you select it, you can never get it as an option again. Now, I didn't realize this, and maybe Nightcrawler did, but I was talking about it in this video, and he didn't correct me, so I'm going to assume he didn't know this, but he can let us know otherwise. So I'm just gonna put out the entire rant that I had about the fact that they didn't give this nerf to napalm and oil when they actually did. And also, I completely misunderstood how this works. I thought that when it said it cannot be selected multiple times in a single game, I thought that meant you can only use it once. Like you get it and then you use it once. So I misunderstood that. So ignore everything that I just said. In fact, you don't have to ignore a single thing because I'm going to cut it. But I still think what they did to the spells was good. I will keep in the section where I talk about Amplify Core and Portable Shield, but everything else I will cut out. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye. Underground Threat, earliest appearance round 2 to 3. I like that. It was always annoying on the very first round to have an underground card, and it slows you from setting up your board. You're trying to set up your chaff, or maybe you want to make a flank play, but oh god no, now I have to defend an underground, which usually means 2 packs of crawlers.
And another big change that I feel like, because you cannot take spells multiple times, if your opponent takes a spell and you didn't, the spell cannot come again. So every time you see a spell, I feel like you have to take it if you want it, because you won't have a second chance.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
Improved fire control system. So they did nerf this, but Mustangs don't care about this. Plus 50%. Yeah, even if this was plus 50%, a Mustang player would still throw this on a Mustang without even thinking. So, whatever. And that's exactly the reason why. Because Haste Module was the second best thing to go on Mustang, and that was plus 40%. And people were still throwing that on Mustangs. Amp Core, more expensive. That's another nerf to Typhoons, by the way, because that was probably one of the second best items to go on to a Typhoon.
Yeah.
Portable shield. Yeah, I think that's fair. Because in the early rounds, a portable shield is insane. Amp Core as well is insane as well. I think this is fair, but it is a nerf to Typhoon, like a secondary nerf.
Yeah.
Heavy armor. Whatever. I mean, I think this should be like plus 60%, to be honest. I think this is broken late game on Giants, obviously. But maybe there's better items to go on Giants late game. Like if you put this on balls round 2, round 3, and you sell them to go onto a Giant, it's nice. But yeah, whatever. This is nothing. Enhancement module.
Yeah.
So it's buffed, but the price is more expensive. Nobody cared about the attack mod and HP mod, really. It obviously helped, but you're only picking this if you have the training intensive training. There's no other reason to take this other than, let's say, something you've got a Giant that you wanted to sell that just happens to have a level, then yeah, okay, quickly throw this on it, sell it, make back 200 supply, and you're happy. So yeah, that's the patch. I mean, other than bug fixes and network optimization, which never affected me, the main thing from this patch for me is what's missing. Melting points, Mustangs, and there was something else missing from this that I thought needed to be fixed, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But melting points not being nerfed in some way, they have to seriously reconsider this thing. Melting point counters every single unit in the game, other than chaff. It doesn't really struggle that much late game against chaff. There's too many other things that fix that problem for it. So the fact melting point hasn't been nerfed is a big one for me. I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, I don't think that's good. I feel like the way they could maybe make the melting point worse is reduce the HP to 25,000, because they are in the back anyway, but it would make it so they are weaker to Mustangs and things like that.
Yeah. Well, I also think that if they're going to do a big patch, or at least at the beginning of a new season, every single unit should have some sort of a change so that the meta gets completely readjusted. They shouldn't be doing small adjustments to tweak the meta. Each season should create a new meta from scratch almost. So I think every unit should get... This is how they do it in Dota. I say this a lot. I always talk about Dota, but I think Dota does an amazing job at balancing all of their heroes. But that's what they do. A big patch comes, every single unit gets some form of a change, whether it's big or small, just to keep things fresh. They even rebuild things almost from the ground up sometimes, like new abilities and things like that. But I understand they're a small dev team still, and I love Mechabellum, and I do think It's a fun game. I'm going to keep playing it. But even stuff like today, let the season finish before you do the update. You cannot run an update and end the season 6 hours early. That is really bad. They have to, in the future, they need to have some community management manager or something like that would go, whoa, guys, you can't run a patch at 8 o'clock in the morning 6 hours before the season ends. You have to let the season end, please.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't do that, especially when people are invested into this game like we are, and you actually, to some degree, our lives are almost built around this game sometimes. I know that is really sad to say, but I'm a 36-year-old with a full-time job, and my life is based around this game to some degree. I know you are like half my age, and but your life is still pretty, you play a lot of Mechabellum. So from a community point of view, they need to fix that. They cannot do that. Yeah. Anyway, man, thanks for joining on this, man. I know you've got to go in like 5 minutes, but
thank you for inviting me. There are some pretty big changes. I'm going to be really excited about this new season.
Yeah,
like
well, let's see
the armor
tomorrow.
changes will make some really big, like, new ways to play. I'm going to have a lot of fun, like flanking with my Arclights, whatever. So yeah.
Maybe the armor changes are the nerf to the Mustang that we always needed. That's probably what it is. But now we have to pay 150 supply to nerf the Mustang. That's the difference. But anyway, it's all good, man. Let's see how the meta plays out. Thanks for joining, man, and I'll catch you, well, in a few weeks when I finally get back to 2000 MMR. We'll see.
We'll see.
All right, cheers, dude. Enjoy the rest of your day, man. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, thanks for joining, everyone. Hopefully this meta roundup, I don't know what's this video going to be called. Patch video, I guess that's what it is. Hopefully this patch video was slightly entertaining or useful, and I hopefully didn't moan too much. But yeah, nerf the melters, bear like, please nerf melters. On my Twitch, you can join me most weeks, definitely every week, but most days of the week I'll be trying to stream. I have millions of little animations and stuff that you can do from various Mechabellum players. There's a little Zemp there. There's the Rat Pack. We even have a Rooster. Where's my Rooster? Where's Rooster gone? There's Rooster. And loads of other things. So if you're interested in some, at the moment, low MMR, because I dropped from almost 2.1k to 1700 from memeing a little too hard on stream, then please come join. And yeah, I'll see you on Twitch. Thanks for watching the video.